Welcome back, everybody. Derek Sue, your East Oakland advocate. Well, I pulled the trigger and got myself uh, a TV that will work for me. And it's been since 2020 when I last had a TV. And I'm not like a lot of folks, well, bigger is better. No, for myself, it's just for personal viewing, so I don't need a whole lot, and I don't want a huge screen. And big TVs kind of start having weight issues, and I don't want to have that. So, um, as you know, I was watching TV on one of these, an iPad. This was an iPad Pro. I've had it since late 2017. I think it was September 2017 when I bought this iPad Pro, and it served me well up until uh, February of this year, and after that, it no longer connected, and I had already just disconnected the service from Verizon, and it didn't make any sense because, well, number one, I had just switched over to my new 5G system, and this was on it, and so I disconnected the service from this, and so this iPad was dependent upon the 5G box, internet gateway, and I had YouTube TV, everything on there. So I used it more for TV than anything else. And then it developed some issues, and I expected that because last year in the summer, it had a lot of connection issues, and that was on the Verizon service. So I knew there was problems coming up, and I was just kind of limping along and uh, hoping to buy a new iPad, and then the fire happened, and then my life was upheaved for some time. Now it's stabilized mostly, and I'm still looking for my own housing right now. But I'm also waiting for the weather to get better. But I'm occasionally by the month I buy one piece of uh, appliance for the home, and this month, because I've been tired of watching TV on my little iPhone, which is what I'm recording on right now, and so that, even though that's the biggest screen possible on an iPhone, the iPhone 14 Pro, and this is the max. So this is almost a 6-inch screen, I think 6.7-inch screen is what they say, and so it's nice to have, but it, with old eyes, it gets very difficult to see. And then with my last eye examination, my optometrist gave me a warning, a heads up. You have early on stage cataracts. And so that's to be expected when you're my age. And I saw that with my mother. She had that. All my uncles pretty much developed that in right around their mid to late 60s. So I'm a little bit early still, but right there, yeah, I'm at 63. The earliest one started at 65. So I'm right there. What can I say? And so, anyway, I back in the day when flat screens first came out, uh, I bought a 32 inch. This was back in 2004, I believe it was. Yeah, 2004, because we had just moved in on a permanent residency to the Grand Lake home on Santa Clara Avenue. And I bought a brand new flat screen 32-inch stereo TV. And at the time, it was $1,200. Yeah, $1,200 for a 32-inch flat screen. And that thing was thick as a brick, as they say. And the it's amazing how they've changed over time. And I had some of the first release, and back then you could buy them practically at any electronics outlets. I even remember seeing flat screen TVs that first year, even in Home Depots. So that's how commonplace they were, and how competitive pricing had gotten. And where I got mine wasn't, the typical electronic outlet, as most people know, would be a Best Buy or Pacific Stereo if you go back that far, or there were a lot of Circuit City was another big one that probably a lot of you remember. Is I remember them from the '80s, from the Midwest, and then they invaded the West Coast, early '90s, and they did well up until they didn't do well. And so anyway, I had the first generation flat screen, and it was thick as a brick, as they say. Then the second generation, next generation, when I bought another flat screen TV. This was a 42-inch Samsung. When I moved to North Carolina, I mean, beautiful TV, not as thick, but pretty close. It was a handful for me to get from the store, and in my truck. And from I bought that one up in uh, Winston Salem, at I think Sam's Club. And so got a good deal on it, and it was good TV, but it was still over 100 pounds back then, and that was a armful, we'll say. And then I added in the surround sound stereo and all that, and so anyway, ended up losing that over time, and bought another one when I was homeless. While I was homeless, I had a flat screen TV, and it wasn't expensive. I think it was a Magnavox, if I remember right, something like that. It was decent, and I got it at a very good price, clearance price, and it was uh, only it the one that I had, the most recent one, was a 1080p. It was one of the first generation of 1080ps, so it wasn't that impressive to me. Oh, it was a Vizio. That's what it was. That one was a Vizio, and it was okay, not great. Yeah, yeah, it didn't impress me. The color and the darkness, and things have changed since that purchase, because I gave or I when I came back out onto the street, that piece of hardware did not follow me back out. In fact, I had loaned it and given it to a person who was from my camp and got into housing. They were some of the first people that got housing. So I gifted them my 32-inch TV, since I was leaving my apartment that I was in at the time, and I had nowhere to go with that TV. So I gifted that TV to that couple. And so up until that time, after I came out onto the street, I've been watching TV on this, my iPad, and it worked fine for up until about 2021. I started having some minor issues, connection issues, and stuff, and then every summer, last summer, it got even worse, and there were days that I had to connect on stuff with my iPhone, and so it was interesting. Uh, what was happening, and it slowly deteriorated. I was hoping to. Um, so anyway, I broke down, bought a brand new TV from Walmart, and it was on a clearance. It was previously sold in the store for about $250, and it was on the clearance for $108, and I could pick it up at the store. And so with tax and everything, it was about just under $130, which worked out really nice. And I'm going to turn the camera around so that you can see the quality of the picture nowadays. And I'm going to play a video that most of you probably haven't seen. And this video was a personal, private video of me and my dog Pandora. She was my American Staffordshire Terrier, and this was out at the dog park in Richmond, El Cerrito, behind the Costco out there, the dog park. And so her best friend was this little gray dog, and it's a Chinese hairless. And so Harry was a cute little dog. He got bullied out there, and then Pandora became his little side buddy. And in fact, Pandora started watching his back. So you'll enjoy this movie. She loves little Harry in this movie, or in this little video clip, and also my other dog towards the end, Mary. And she looks very similar to Pandora that you'll see. So enjoy this. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back here. This is Pandora. She is my American Staffordshire Terrier. And a lot of people were afraid of her because she is a pit bull family dog. And this is little Harry. Harry was her little buddy. She loved this little guy. She protected him after he got bullied by a couple of bigger dogs, and then she fixed those big dogs. So little Harry, that he just adored Pandora for that, and they got to be really close buddies up until I couldn't go out to the park anymore. So she missed Harry. Harry was a dog who also had medical challenges. He had lupus, and so he had special medications that he had to take. And so his mother babied him, but he was a good dog. Pandora loved this little guy, and she watched over him like a big sister. And so she played with him, and people thought she was playing rough, and it's like, no, Harry likes it. If he's too rough, he'll run away, and he'll let her know. So my other dog is there's my other dog. That was Mary. She was a Labrador and Whippet mix. So that's pretty much the video there, and we'll swing it back around. So if you looked at the quality of the screen and the playback picture, it was incredible. This is a 1080p for $108. So it was a real bargain for me. And I'm doing everything possible to make sure that the TV is the last one that I'll ever need for the rest of my life, because LED, OLED type TVs like this should give you 10,000 hours of viewing usage and life expectancy. So it has a good long life. But the thing is that if something goes wrong on these, like you break the screen or anything, it's not repairable, or the repair is so expensive you may as well throw it away and go get yourself a new one, because in this case, that $250 TV is now $108. So you couldn't even fix that for that amount. Because I've had things that I took in for repairs, and the cost of the repair with the labor and parts, when I went to go pick up that one tool, I told him, go ahead and throw it in the garbage, because I'm not paying that. Because for nine more dollars, I could have got myself a brand new one. The exact same thing, and didn't have to wait a week. So you can keep that and throw it in the garbage. And that was in my heyday during the when I was a more powerful business person, and that was dealing with one of the stupid warranty service centers locally. So I won't say which company, which brands, or anything, because that's not cool. But and there's been a lot of change. But anyway, I'm slowly getting and building up things that once I find my landing spot, that I can take all of this with me and transfer it with me, and it'll transition without any. It'll transition seamlessly. Literally, it will be seamless because everything that will follow me. That is my equipment. The TV is something that will follow with me, and I'm going to take the mount off the wall because this is a wall mount now. And then that way it doesn't take up any additional space. I can swing it flat to the wall and do a lot of different things. It makes it very, very flexible. And I have a bed right now, which is a futon bed that I purchased, and it's very comfortable. I put a few extra foam pads underneath it, and it's more than sufficient. It's very warm, very comfortable, and it serves me well. I don't have any issue with it, and so and then cooking. I had a few. I bought a turkey roaster and uh, let's see, a single burner cooktop and a coffee pot. And I plan on getting a multi-use convection, microwave, air fryer, oven, and all in one unit. And so I'm going to order that. That's a couple of $100. But yeah, I could have bought just a basic microwave for about $70, $80 down at the local Walmart. But I wanted something more because I wanted to get air fryer, because there's times that I've used my air fryer that I had in the other place, uh, and I love the results of an air fryer, and this also saves me counter space of a toaster oven and a toaster. So an air fryer, toaster oven gives me the usage of a convection oven even. And so it's multi-use. And then there's the microwave aspect, so I can cook things really fast. And so I'm thinking and working smarter, not harder. Oh, and by the way, the efficiency on that TV that I'm talking about, the one that I just hung on the wall, it's an amazing only 45 watts. 45 watts of 120 volt electricity. And so all it's doing is powering a power supply which converts to DC voltage inside for the circuitry and the screen. Um, and DC is much more stable, and it's the only foundation for electronics like this. And what can I say? It's incredible because I remember my other that first generation. Um, it put out it was using 300 watts, 300 watts, and the same size screen. But like I said, it was thick as a brick. And so there was a lot of inefficiencies in energy. So electronics and technology has advanced significantly, and something like this can be very, very uh, useful when you're in a tiny home or a smaller home, a micro home, and you try and be as energy efficient as possible. And this qualifies for that. 45 watts, folks. And if you think about it, this iPad consumed 20 watts. It was 20 watts of energy for that iPad. So while I doubled the energy, but the screen size is significantly different, and my viewing pleasure is significantly enhanced. Thanks for joining me today. We'll be right back.